These are not from a photo shoot. They're AI headshots made from a few photos I uploaded. Some do look weirdly expensive, some look suspiciously linked in, and a few details made me go, absolutely not. Are AI generated headshots actually good enough to use professionally? We're gonna find out in this video, which is unsponsored, and I paid for this so you don't have to. We need to find out if it actually looks like. And is this a great way of saving money when it comes to looking for professional headshots or even more casual ones if you want a different look for your social media platforms, your brand, or your business? Really excited to film this video. Fingers crossed they look great, but we'll find out. And as a quick disclaimer, this is actually me. This is not AI. I need to try and find like a thing to like prove it or something. We may need to do that in the future. I really hope you enjoy this video. And if you want to skip to certain sections, I will put chapters down below to save your time. Grab a coffee. Let's find out if AI can actually do this for me on a budget. So when it comes to looking online for services like this, there are many. The reason why I chose this one is because of the reviews. Hopefully I followed my intuition and I can save you as well some money by making the right choice, because you'll see if it kind of is your vibe. So you can select the style. This is business casual, business formal, and smart casual. And obviously you can select examples for men and women. The user interface also allows you to further customize the images that they created for you. You can change the background and even change outfit, which I didn't know actually when I signed up. So let's look at the steps together of what you would need to make sure that you get the best results possible. This video was not sponsored, I wish, but I will have all the information down below so you can choose the exact same service that I'm doing, and that will help support this channel if you do so, but it costs you nothing. I really hope that this gives you value of some of my experience, and I'm going to learn as well if I made the wrong choice. So how are these AI headshots created? Number one, you upload your photos. You can do 4+. I think I did 5. I do remember that they were quite strict with some of them that weren't suitable. They would then ask me to provide another one, which is really good, because if you're going to be spending any money on these things, which you want to do, because a lot of the free ones, nothing in this world is free. The benefit of doing this with a better known company with reviews is that you are paying for the service, so it is less likely for any risks of your data being used elsewhere, whereas services that are free, there's always a catch somewhere, whether you are aware of it or not. So then, this I didn't actually know. They rent supercomputers that sound like they belong to NASA to build an ultra-detailed AI model of your face, just like CGI. Then their AI engine creates studio quality headshots that look like you spent the day with a top-tier photographer. Here's hoping. Okay, this is just like marketing, but you can click and change your outfits and do little tweaking, which is always useful if you would. This is interesting. Many of these companies that will offer these for free, you don't know what happens with your data or your image, and you're giving away quite a lot, because these are literally your biometrics that you're uploading to servers that you aren't really aware of. That is not to fear monger, but it is something that we have to be really switched on about, especially in this day and age of AI. This is what's great. They're not in the business of building databases of people's faces and their ethnicities, but many other apps are. We take these ethical concerns seriously and intentionally avoid collecting sensitive personal data. And despite this, we still offer the best headshot quality on the market. So this is really important. We delete your personal data by default within 30 days of no use. They do not own the rights. This is really important. They do not own the rights to your likeness of images. Only the business model is creating headshots for customers like you. So that's really good as well. Again, you're being more in control of your data, and your photos belong to you, not them. Unlike other AI platforms, they do not monetize your data behind the scenes. No selling. We never sell your photos or personal information to third parties, and no training. Your likeliness is never used to train future AI models, not even anonymously. I get it, it's marketing, but it shows you what other companies will be doing if they offer it for free, because what you're providing is even more worthwhile than any money that you would pay for. They mention as well the companies they do. So Google, Apple, Compass, Harvard University. Let's look at the pricing. You can pay in any currency and it just changes it automatically. So I did that through PayPal and they just did the exchange. So $35, which is on sale from $55, that provides 75 photos, 8 outfits, 8 backdrops, no redos or no human touch-ups. Okay. Standard is $59 from $79. So 150 images, 10 outfits, 10 backdrops, and 1 free redo. A redo lets you try again with new sample photos. That's cool. no human touch-ups. Then human touch-ups, I believe, will be software that you can then tailor them after yourself, so you being the human. The best value is $99 instead of $119. That provides 300 photos, 15 outfits, 10 backdrops, 2 free redos, and unlimited human touch-ups. So the benefit of the touch-ups is if you like a certain image, you can make loads of different ones with different outfits, which is useful if you do branded or seasonal content. I think if you're just using this for business headshots, professional images, I would personally say standard, only because if they're not to your taste, it is really useful to have the redo. Whereas if you did this one again, that's $70 and at least you get more images, more options. So I think this is the sweet spot and this is the best value personally. And I would rather, to be honest, do this twice than get the best value one, unless I knew that I wanted to change my outfits or the backdrops or tweak little bits of the images. Who knows what that will actually allow you to do. There's a 2-hour turnaround, which is crazy. So let's look at what my images look like. You can now see just how long ago. This has been a crazy year. This is so weird. It looks like if you really like certain ones, you can then pay a bit extra. Okay. This is good to know. And again, I want to give as much value in this video as possible, which is why it may be a bit longer than a quick advert type video. This is useful to know. Past that first paywall, which I think is really fair pricing, you don't always know these extras that you can get. It just depends kind of how happy you are with these. This one, I am like way bigger and stockier than I am in real life. So that's not, I would never wear a suit like that. But again, this is so good to like provide loads of examples. Let's go through them one by one. And please, if you have a second, if you're watching this on the TV, that's a bit more tricky, but do let me know with a comment. What do you think? I want to know which ones are your favorites. Pause it, take a photo, tag me in it on Instagram, still in luck, or put a comment with as much description of that one. That would mean the world because there's a lot to go through. Right. Back to the straight and narrow. Office interior. So I feel like this would be definitely great for like professional headshots that look more startup. It's giving Silicon Valley. It kind of does look like me. It makes my head a little bit bigger on the top. So you can tell little differences. So here, for example, my head looks a bit more bulbous, whereas this one, it doesn't. So there are going to be teeny little differences with these, and that I'm definitely witnessing. Maybe you watching this is your daily attire, and this is going to be for LinkedIn. This is going to be for, I don't know. You'll have to let me know. That's definitely more like my vibe. So I'm going to favorite that, and I can download it when I want. This one is like a startup Dragon's Den photo. I think I preferred that. One, but that looks a little bit too AI because my skin looks too smooth. I want to be really judgy with these because I don't want it to look like it's an AI image, but I'm obviously not shy about sharing this with you because I'm doing this video, but I think this is something that's going to be more and more popular. So my eyes look a different color in that. This is dangerous because I actually like my color. Love that photo. Maybe a bit too crisp around the hair, or I just styled it very well that day. Today, not so much. Side angle, very, very, yeah, I'm meaning business there. I look bigger there. My eyes look further apart, but that does still look smart. Again, we love a rhyme. If you're using this just on like a LinkedIn profile or something that, yes, you can zoom in, but you can't really zoom in, then these would, every single one of these would be perfect. Like that really looks like me. Again, if you're watching this and you're thinking like, what is he on? Or what did he put in his coffee this morning? Because that does not look like him, but that looks like me as well. Very preppy. So what's this one called? Gray studio background. Kind of Apple, very tech vibe, but like still warm and inviting, trusting. Office exterior. So we're going outside now. Yeah, I look really wider there. Obviously, I didn't provide images of my hands, but my hands don't look like that. That looks very, very natural. That kind of looks like a selfie image, which still looks natural. Okay, office interior. I thought office interior was before. Oh, God, we got 2 offices in this. That kind of looks like me. My eyes look slightly different. Again, I'm being like hypercritical here, and from editing my videos for over 10 years, I'm very used to every detail on my face. Yeah, my eyes are a little bit bigger there. My skin's a bit too smooth. What I would do with that is if it looked a bit smooth, this is what I've done. If photos were taken off me that I didn't have control, that they were like slightly retouched, whether that was branded photos, I would increase the sharpness on any photo editor, even on your phone or tablet. You can even increase texture if your software allows for that. Those are things that I do on my mobile, and it's so easy to do. And that just adds a bit more roughness to the image, which is real life. That looks natural. That one doesn't look like me, I don't think, but you have to let me know. This would be actually really fun if you're going to do this at home, which again, I will link it all down below, because now I can say this is really good. And even if I end up with 5 professional headshots, it was worth every single penny, genuinely. So if you do end up using this yourself, I would say make it a fun thing to do. So do it, and if you feel open enough to say to anyone that they were, which you don't need to as well, like that's your prerogative, with your partner, family member, friend, go through this with them, because I think you'll have such a laugh, because it's so weird seeing you in like so many different things that you may not have worn. And also if it ever generates one that really doesn't look like you, that's like gold. I don't really have any that really don't look like me. It's just a little bit, but I think that would be a really fun way of going through them. So I'm doing this on my own. But that's why I keep asking for comments from you guys, because this is what I really wanted to see what other people thought. Skipping through a bit. Okay, so dark studio background. That is literally the image that I provided. It's just black t-shirt and a black background. That's one with a bit of a burgundy, more festive. The lighting looks really... I'd like to think the lighting was done perfectly before, but I think they've upped that lighting to look really professional. That's cool. Blue studio background. So this is very like tech LinkedIn, a little bit different, but not really noticeable. %90 of them are really accurate with my eye color, which is cool. So in the park now, I am getting around. Okay, so that doesn't look as much like me. My face looks wider, whereas this one does look like me. There's always going to be little differences, but that's the benefit of getting so many done. You would never, and you should never, expect every single one of them to be ones that you're going to use, because you're only really going to end up using probably 1 or 2 and then keep them in a folder safe on your computer, backed up, and then you've got that for future use. And then you could always remove the background, put like a circle colored disc, which is what I've done for my YouTube logo, which I'm still working on. So maybe I can use one of these on it. Another park that's kind of like outside a building. There I look quite chest up, chest out. There's a Lady Leisha lyric called, it's a rap she did. Walking broad in the street, don't try to talk to the queen. Sun's out. Oh, anyway, about broad shoulders. I don't know what, like, I've gone down that. Look, I'm almost thinner there. So teeny little differences, but I'm trying to like imagine what you are watching this video for, and there could be so many, but I think the likelihood of you being a working professional that want these for work or LinkedIn or your social media profile photos is probably the most likely. I just cannot stand wearing suits, and that's okay because everyone feels comfortable in different things. I would never wear a V. I always prefer crew neck lines, always. I don't know if you can relate or if you agree. I think it really suits certain people. I just don't feel like it suits me at all. So that I prefer. It's kind of a really wintry color. The background is a little too blurred for me. So if I paid for the service that I could then change them more, then that's what I would do. Let's go back and try and edit one after and see if I have to pay for that. Then greenery. That's a nice photo. Yeah, very like happy and chirpy. Very approachable instead of like sussing someone out. I do mean business. So this one. That's a really nice one. I like that. Again, I love anything like cream colors. Okay, so tan studio background. Let's look at what this one looks like. Yeah, really professional. This would be great for any sort of business, but especially if you do spa related or slightly more holistic, this gives a really classy, warm tone, which is really in style. Yeah, if you were running a spa and wanted to do headshots of your staff or things like that, yeah, I really like that. Really like that. Okay, so we've reached the end of this segment, and this was the longest segment, which I wanted to include in the video, but I'm going to follow my gut. And I think it's really important to show you after that paywall, because there was nothing online that really showed this amount of info from this side. And that's what I really aim to do, is just give as much value as I possibly can. A like, a comment, using my link to try this always helps to support unsponsored content like this. And it means the world. So I appreciate it. Let's try and edit one now. So which was the one with the really blurry background? Okay, so let's click edit now and just see what this allows us to do. So you can change background. Oh wow, so you can actually add an image to change background. This is cool, I didn't expect this. Christmas market. I have no idea if that's gonna work, but let's see. I think I forgot what package I bought. This is the standard one then. Oh, then I've used up my one changing. I don't know. Okay, that looks a little bit artificial, but you would never really know that if that was in a small profile photo. Okay, I don't believe in retouching images at all. And I've only ever done slightly bigger eyes on thumbnails to kind of click on, which so many YouTubers do, by the way. But I would never, ever dream of posting that. I just think you're dancing with the devil there, and you do really need to like your own self. But for this, I'm just going to show what it could look like, even though I don't believe in that. So this is to alter improve my eyes. Okay, so that really whitened my eyes. It added a nice lashing of mascara. That looks so fake. And you doing things like that will get you caught out that your image was done by AI. So I've got your back, and you're going to follow my lead. And especially auto improve teeth. Like you're going to meet these people. Do not change how you look. Do not. And if people are going to judge you, they weren't for you anyway. And that is in all senses. And I really stand by that. It's not cool. Oh, so that didn't save it. So let's try another one. So this is what I'm going to put. Ski restaurant, sat at a table with cozy background and no people, because the people in the last changing background looked quite artificial. Slightly, just knowing imagery, you wouldn't really be able to get the background like that, and then the person that big, that does look overlaid. If I was a little bit smaller, then that would really work. That's really cool that you can actually do that, and I've been able to do that twice. Okay, so to wrap up this video, I've got an idea that I'm going to share at the end of the video, which I think is going to put the images that I provided to the test. But first, let's talk about the pros and cons. So a very clear benefit is the speed and the affordability. The fact that you can really then choose exactly what images that they provide, and the fact that you have some elements of tailoring those images to better perfect them to suit the needs for what you're using them for, whether that's going to be for print, for a profile photo, for a post, for a logo, all of these things. It gives you a bit more flexibility to change the background to certain color, which is a good idea if you wanted to just have you as a cutout. What you could always do is change the background color to green and then remove the background like a green screen. The other benefit is the fact that it looks professional if it does. So there's always that caveat, but I would say with the images that I went through, let me know if I'm wrong, I'd say 85% of them to 90%, to be really fair, were really good, looked professional. There was obviously going to be an element of some of them being slightly different, the majority being ones that I would use. And remember, I'm only really going to end up using several of these images anyway. They just generate loads to make sure that you have the right amount of options to choose from. Something that we learned together is the fact that you can then pay for 100 more images for around $19, which I think is a really fair price. So don't worry about going too expensive at the beginning. I would personally say go for the standard package, then add more if needed. Unless you're using this for a huge new business startup and you really want to heavily invest into that, then I would maybe then say go for the top one, just because you can tailor things a lot more. But again, it has to be right for you. But the biggest pro for me, and I'd like to think for you as well, is the privacy and the safety of our data and our face, our information. The fact that this is paid for means that you are asking for a service as opposed to just giving your info and literally your identity away for a company to then sell that data to third parties or use it for any other reasons. And if they're not using it now, rest assured that's usually stored in a database to then use it another time. So yeah, do it right and do it well. The cons of this. So some of the images were clearly different. Thankfully, that was the minority of the results, so I can live with that. I was gonna put as a con the backgrounds because I wasn't expecting the ability to change the backgrounds with prompts, which is really cool. So by being able to change the backgrounds in 2 ways, you get an incredible amount of flexibility, and that is really, really useful. You're not spending any more money, but you then get extra ways to tweak it and make it perfect, which I think is really cool, especially if there's, for example, one image that you're obsessed with and you're like, this is perfect, but I also want it to look more businessy. You then just change the background to increase the business look, but then that is the benefit of the standard and the top pro or premium package, because then you can actually change your outfit as well. And what I do have to say is the outfits on the images looked really real. So apart from sometimes the body looking a bit different, which was maybe 5-10% if I want to be really harsh, but more likely around the 5% mark, I would say the clothing was not something that I clocked as AI. It was more around my hair in some of them, and the background sometimes looked too false. But again, it just depends what you're looking for. Really, the only background that looked a little bit false was the garden one, but that's only because it was so blurry. Whereas the office ones, the ones with the studio background, whether that was black, tan, gray, they looked incredible. I would imagine if you are looking to do this, those are probably the ones that you would want the most anyway. So that's good. I'm saying that in the con. Yeah, there's not many cons actually to this. With research with this brand before, with taking my time to choose the right one, I'm really relieved. And I'm glad that I've managed now to properly sit down. I did not look at them before. It's just been a burning reminder to just keep telling me to like, you need to film this, because I was honestly expecting some of them to be really funny and not a lot of them were. So this is definitely a much more professional take on a review, but I really hope extra insights and seeing how my experience went does help you spend your money more wisely. So this is something that I thought while filming this, and I think other people's perceptions is the best way to really savagely test this. And what I'm going to do is share this online and get people's honest feedback. I'm taking one for the team. I'm filming this before, but I'm going to put the results here and then overlay and talk over. So here's my story that I posted online to see if anyone could clock that this was AI. And as you can see from these responses, no one noticed. However, my sister did. She said it looked good, but it was obviously AI to her. So the learnings are, maybe your family will clock you, but no one else will. Okay, current me, but past me. This will mean this video took a little longer to release, but I think then I've just done my due diligence. Tell me if this would be something that you would do, and which was your favorite style that you saw it create for me. I would have to say for me, it was the simple studio backdrops because it looked really elevated. And I really liked the outdoor office ones. I thought they looked really good as well. And also the indoor office ones. But I wouldn't use those as much just because of what I do for my work, which is content creation. So I would personally choose the one that was more like studio looking, but I could definitely imagine everyone else preferring the inside office and outside office. If you have any other suggestions of what I should test next, or if you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to the channel to be notified of my next uploads. I review so many topics and so many different things. And to prove that, this is a video I think you would enjoy watching. And the QR code that's been in this video, as mentioned, will take you directly to the link to try this out yourself. And you can do this on your phone, on a tablet, on your computer, anything. I will see you in the next video and take care of yourselves. Bye.